The cinematography, setting, and characters in Shawshank Redemption contribute to its dark tone and its timeless themes of freedom, isolation, and familiarity, allowing viewers to empathize with its characters. Roger Deakins' dark lighting in the prison keeps the viewers in the dark and in a somber mood. He creates extra space to make Shawshank feel lonely with a gray color palette. This same color choice allows him to show how the prison has not changed with the passage of a great deal of time. The ultimate payoff is the ever-so-bright outside world that Deakins overexposes to emphasize the happiness of freedom. The idea of freedom is explored a lot, with prisoners given life sentences and dreaming of the outside world. The audience can relate to Andy since he was wrongly convicted and has to serve a life sentence when he should be a free man. A lot of characters are shown walking, working, or sitting by themselves, and in group shots they are mostly in one confined space within the frame. Red and Brooks, who have been at Shawshank for some time, find that it's their home and show how people adapt to their situation in life. The antagonist is a deeply religious warden. This character choice paints him as a god in a place where no one has any choice but to obey him. When Andy or others do not, they end up in solitary confinement or even dead. People don't like being told what to do or forced to do things they don't want to, so having such a powerful villain where protagonists have no other choice makes him so much more compelling for audiences.
Our first external resource we found was an article written by Christopher Probst for the American Cinematographer. Within the article, Probst discusses a lot of in-depth camera work that Roger Deakins uses, but also touches on his use of color in the film. Deakins uses many different shades of grays and browns early on in the film, as well as tight camera angles to make the viewer feel the isolation and the feeling of being trapped that the main character is feeling. And it's not until later in the film, as it begins to unravel, that Deakins begins to use wider shots and more vivid and brighter colors. It begins to make the viewer hopeful for something, even if they don't know what that is yet.
The second external resource we found was a video by Cinefix called 3 Brilliant Moments in the Visuals of Emotion. In the video, it focuses on one scene in particular in which the character Brooks is released from prison. This video discusses Deakins and the director's framing of the sequence and how even though Brooks is no longer in prison, we still have that emotional sense of isolation. The characters that surrounded Brooks always have their backs turned and are facing away from Brooks. To quote the video, this makes the viewer feel alone in a crowded space, so even though Brooks is no longer in prison, he's still isolated from the world.
For the two What to Watch Next films, we chose No Country for Old Men, directed by Ethan and Joel Coen, and Prisoners, directed by Denis Villeneuve. We chose these films because Roger Deakins is the cinematographer for both of these, and he uses similar techniques within these films that he also uses in The Shawshank Redemption.